My brother's wedding planner called. Your family canceled your invitation, but asked to keep the $65K deposit you paid. I said, cancel the entire wedding? She gasped, but sir, you're not the bride. No, but I own the venue, the catering company, and the hotel chain they booked for guests. See, my brother James was marrying this entitled socialite, Melissa. Her mom, Eleanor, treated me like hired help from day one. They made insane demands. Wanted me to remove a historic chandelier because it clashed with the aesthetic. Made my staff create 15 different sample menus before choosing. Then demanded we redo them because the fonts were too common. The worst part? They'd schedule meetings with my venue coordinator at 6 a.m., then cancel 30 minutes before. My poor manager Anthony would drive across town for nothing. You're a saint for putting up with this, he told me after Eleanor demanded we repaint the entire ballroom because the current shade of ivory was too pedestrian. Eleanor also insisted we fire our head chef because he looked unprofessional, meaning he was Hispanic. I refused, but she kept pushing. I tolerated it because I love James. Growing up, it was just us two after our parents divorced messily. I practically raised him while mom worked 3 jobs. When I built my hotel empire from nothing, starting as a waitress and working my way up, James was my biggest cheerleader. He'd brag to friends about his sister who made it big, but Melissa changed him completely. Suddenly, my new money was embarrassing. Eleanor would make comments about how some people think wealth means class. During one particularly nasty encounter, she looked around my flagship hotel's lobby and sniffed. It's very commercial, isn't it? Not quite the atmosphere for discerning clientele. When invitation time came, nothing arrived in my mailbox. I waited weeks, checking daily. I called other family members. Everyone got theirs. Gorgeous gold foil with handwritten notes from Melissa thanking them for being true family. At our family dinner, Eleanor made it crystal clear. There's a difference between serving the elite and being one of them, don't you think, Natalie? She said my name like it tasted bitter. James just stared at his plate. My own brother wouldn't defend me. That's when Melissa chimed in. The wedding is very intimate. We're keeping it to people who truly understand our vision. They saw me as the help, not family. Good enough to provide the venue, staff, and accommodations, but not good enough to witness their special day. The wedding planner's call was the last straw. They wanted me to pay, but not attend my own brother's wedding. We've decided the guest list needs to be more refined, she explained awkwardly. But of course, all the vendor contracts remain in place exactly as agreed, so I pulled the plug on everything. Ma'am, as of now, the venue is unavailable, catering is canceled, and all hotel rooms are released. Your clients will need to find new vendors immediately. You can't do that. The contracts are ironclad. Check the fine print carefully. All agreements are void if the vendor is excluded from the event without cause. My lawyers made sure of that clause. 3 hours later, James called sobbing hysterically. Melissa was having a complete meltdown. No venue would take them on 2 weeks' notice, especially not for 200 guests. Why would you do this? He screamed. This is my wedding, and I'm your sister. Or did you forget that while you were letting your fiance's family treat me like garbage? He begged me to reconsider desperately. Started crying about how much money they'd lose, how embarrassed they'd be. You should have thought about that before you decided I wasn't good enough to attend, I said calmly. That wasn't my choice. Melissa's family didn't raise you. I did, and you chose them over me. I hung up immediately. Eleanor called an hour later, screaming about lawsuits. I reminded her that her daughter signed a contract with very specific terms about vendor treatment and family inclusion. You're destroying an innocent girl's dream, she shrieked. Your innocent girl called me the help to my face, I replied. Dreams have consequences. The wedding never happened. James moved to another state with Melissa afterward, but my staff threw me a party that weekend. Anthony brought champagne. To bosses who have backbones, he toasted. Best celebration of my life.